I'm going to read you a portion of chapter 11, and this is Tessa's point of view. Hope you enjoy. With the mad rush to prepare for my first day back at school, there's been no time for panic to take hold. Every moment's been taken up with planning and evading. Jake, that is. At first, it was because of my shameful behavior toward him last week, and over a load of laundry, no less. Of course, you don't have to be a psychologist to know it had nothing at all to do with laundry. I'm just not completely sure what the true catalyst was. Either way, when I imagine Dad in the midst of that nasty argument, my stomach revolts. How would the generous and kind Sean O'Shea react if he'd seen his daughter sniping about sharing a washing machine? How petty. But put me in Jake's presence and I'm a spoiled 10-year-old. Or a mischievous 10-year-old. Whatever came over me the other day when I doused him with the hose, it was as if I'd forgotten what a colossal irritation he is. 1 minute I was pointing the hose at him with vindictiveness at the helm, and the next thing I knew, it was fun. How long has it been since I just wanted to have some fun? I don't know whether to be embarrassed over my childish act or fearful of payback. Turning off J Street, I pull into the same Sac State parking lot of my last visit. Only this time the choices are limited. Summer school is more popular than I imagined. I glance at the clock before turning off the car engine and sit in the silence. Just a moment to gather my thoughts. How was it possible that less than 2 weeks ago I was determined to not go this route? And now here I am. My stomach flips and I pray this morning's quick breakfast stays down. With a deep breath, I gather up my backpack, hesitating when my eyes catch the yellow Curious George lunchbox lying on the passenger seat. Despite my irritation with Jake, my lips twitch at the memory of finding it this morning on the kitchen nook table, a note scribbled in Jake's cat scratch taped to the handle. Have a good day and play nice with the other kids. He's only half kidding, I'm sure, given my recent behavior toward him. As thoughtful as the lunchbox was, it's what's inside that threatened to melt the frost I've grown around my heart since Dad died. PB&J on white bread, an apple cored and cut into 8 equal slices, and a half pint of milk, just like I used to get in grade school. I could be suspicious of his motives. Okay, I am suspicious of his motives, but for the moment at least I'm willing to accept the gift at face value for the simple fact that the innocence and simplicity of it brings me some semblance of comfort, no matter how contrived it may have been on Jake's part. I choose to lay suspicion aside. Well, once I take a cautious bite of the sandwich, I'll lay it aside. Could be this is the payback he threatened. I stuff the apple and sandwich in my backpack on the off chance I'll be able to stomach food later. More students are milling around today, which is expected from the congestion in the parking lot. I retrieve the handy-dandy map from my backpack and remind myself where my class is being held. I can do this. As long as I don't have to enter Draper Hall, I can do this. 2 6-week courses and I'll have earned a second bachelor's degree. The thought of it doesn't alleviate my cold, clammy palms, but it does prod my feet to keep moving toward Tahoe Hall and Part 1 of English 220, Writing in Your Discipline. Doesn't sound very exciting, but just battling the past is enough excitement for the next 12 weeks. I find Tahoe Hall, climb the stairs, and search the numbers above the doors until I find room 235. Hard to miss with chatting students milling around the door. They look so young. I readjust my backpack, push a strand of hair from my eyes, and swallow. Dare I enter the fray? I don't want to be the first person inside, but I don't want to stand around alone either. So awkward. You look lost. I glance up from studying the toe of my clogs to find an amused pair of gray eyes bracketed with laugh lines and a warm smile. The bottle blonde woman is slightly heavy but attractively dressed in khaki pants. Comfortable in her own skin, Dad would say. And a good 10 years older than me. The teacher, perhaps? It's been a long road here, I say. Where in the world did that come from? I don't even know this woman, and here I am blurting out some pseudo-poetic gibberish. She nods, eyes catching mine. I know exactly what you mean. You do? The surprised question pops out before I filter it. Carol Harper, she extends her hand. Tess O'Shea, I take the proffered hand. Are you the teacher? She laughs. Far from it, just a middle-aged student writing regrets. She twists to glance at the growing crowd of co-eds. Is it me, or are they getting younger every year? I haven't stepped into a classroom for 10 years, so I wouldn't know. My eyes are drawn to a young woman, gold-streaked hair piled on top of her head, clingy tee topping snug, bejeweled jeans. Head thrown back, she laughs unself-consciously at something her male companion said, hand resting on his arm. When was the last time I was that comfortable with myself? That trusting and carefree? I tasted it briefly in the midst of my water fight with Jake. Well, this looks like a rowdy group. My heart hitches and I hold my breath until I can spot the speaker, an elderly man, must be close to 70, with a wispy comb-over and dark-rimmed glasses, maneuvers his way through the crowd of students. A leather bag slung over one shoulder seems to weigh him down, as if he's been carrying that bag his entire career. Professor McNeil, Carol says for my benefit. He's one of the good ones. I hang back with her as the other students enter the now open classroom door, some greeting the teacher with familiarity. Repeat students, that's a good sign. Stepping in last, I hesitate at the threshold and wait for the expected nausea to hit. Instead of student desks, there are tables, 4 chairs to each. The blackboard is white and the walls as welcoming as a Barnes & Noble, with posters of well-known novels greeting me from all sides. Only the smell reminds me of the past, but it's one I've grown accustomed to. The musty yellowed books that line library shelves and used bookstores, the scent that has infiltrated every school I've entered since kindergarten. Carol waves me over, 1 row over, 2 rows down, and it's the catalyst I need to step inside. This is it. I've enrolled for fall semester, paid my tuition, and made the commitment. If I back down now, Katie will never speak to me, and Jake wins. God help me. And that's it. So come back next week, and we'll get a next segment. Have a great week. Bye.